Using Twitter and Facebook to find a job. Time by Barbara Kvyat, Monday, June the 8th, 2009. Brian Ward lost his job on Friday afternoon. 11 days later he had a new one. With nearly 1 in 10 people out of work and a typical job search lasting 12 weeks, how did the Cleveland-based software architect pull it off? In a phrase, online social networking. Welcome to the new rules of the job hunt. Gone are the days of simply posting your resume on Career Builder, emailing former colleagues and trolling company websites for open slots. These days, if you're serious about being hired, you really put your computer and PDA to work. That means getting word out on social sites like Facebook and MySpace, sending instant job searches updates via messaging feeds like Twitter, and meeting new people who might be able to lend a hand through web networking outfits like LinkedIn and Rise. See 10 ways Twitter will change American business. Why? Because of all our technology, the best way to land a job is still by having someone who already works at a company mention your name. Each year, the staffing consultancy Career X-Roads surveys large firms about where they find new hires, and since at least 2005, the top spot has held steady. Some 27% come from referrals. Job boards, by comparison, have fed firms a consistent 12% of new hires. The rest come from recruiters, company websites, etc. The difference today is that a lot of more of those recommendations start with connections made through online networks. A recent report by market researcher Nielsen found that people now spend more time using social networking sites than they do personal email. Read your Facebook relationship status is complicated. That doesn't mean the classic strategies have been tossed out the window. Persistence, self-branding, professional presentation, the things a career coach would have steered you toward 2 decades ago, are still necessary. Social networks alone won't get you a new gig, but as Brian Ward's 11-day job search makes clear, they can go a long way to help. And here's how to do it. Act fast. As the sole breadwinner for his wife and 3 kids, Ward knew that he had to get a new job quickly. He found himself unemployed at 5 in the afternoon. By 8 that night, he called for people he knew in Ohio who did the same sort of computer work as he did, as well as his colleague Buddy Lyle down in North Carolina. I've been using Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn, but in a very passive, extracurricular way, says Ward. I knew Lyle was big into the Twitter scene. He immediately began blasting information out to contacts he had, sending them back my way. Over the weekend, Ward updated all of his online profiles. He uploaded a fresh resume to LinkedIn, the professional networking site, and sent out a message to all 200 of his Facebook friends, letting them know he was looking for work. See Times cover story on how Twitter will change the way we live. One of them, a pal from high school, wrote back Sunday night. He now worked for a tech company in Louisiana and asked if Ward would be interested in being put in touch with a web development group. Ward eagerly agreed and had a phone interview the next day. Here I was, 4 hours into being unemployed, and I already had a phone interview, he recalls. I was like, wow, this is going to be impressive. Tap your network to stay upbeat. Except it wasn't. Ward's skills and what the company needed didn't line up. Intellectually, he knew it was that simple, but the rejection stung, especially coming on the heels of having lost his job the week before. You've just been told we don't want you. That has crushing effect on your soul, says Ward. Then as you go out and look for a job, most of the jobs you look at, you're not going to get. You're going to be told no over and over again. Using social networking sites to look for work, in addition to traditional job banks like Monster and Dice, helped with that emotional part of the job search. Twitter didn't provide many leads, but Wood did come across a lot of other people looking for work. It turned into a big support network, he says. While he was looking for a job, Ward wasn't able to sleep more than a few hours a night. The first thing he'd do when he got up at 4 or 5 in the morning was send out a tweet. See the best social networking applications. Go beyond job-related networking. LinkedIn proved more useful in finding possible positions. Early in his search, Ward watched a webinar by one-time Arena football player Lewis Howes on how to better leverage LinkedIn. Sounds hit or miss by Ward got a lot out of it. He began joining LinkedIn groups, even those that weren't work-related, like one for members of his colleagues' fraternity. That landed him a note from Vice President of Cisco Systems, a man on the other side of the country who hadn't even gone to the same school as Ward, was now telling him that he asked around to see who he was hiring. Ward got a similar message from a recruiter in Texas. He didn't hire for technology jobs, but would pass along Ward's resume to the folks at his firm who did. Keep everyone you know in the loop. Over the course of the week, Ward kept a list of jobs he was working on. About 16 made it to the point of having a conversation with the person who was hiring, but then no further. As things changed each day, over the 12 to 15 hours he was devoted to job hunting daily, he sent out updates via Twitter, Facebook, and Gmail to let all his friends and contacts know who had been helpful. It was the equivalent of sending a thank you letter after an interview, says Ward. Don't count anyone out as useful. The job Ward eventually landed came from an unexpected direction. A former co-worker sent him a teasing note through Facebook saying she was offended he hadn't asked her for a job. He hadn't even thought of it. When they had last worked together, she was fairly junior. He'd missed the part of the story where she's gotten her MBA and was promoted twice. She passed along his resume, and within days he was having an interview. In the meeting he was upfront. He said he needed to find a new job quickly and was interviewing at other companies too. The next day he had an offer. It's still about connections, says Ward. What changed is how you do it.